Welcome back to our channel. You know that old is gold, but these coins that are most valuable. You are lucky if you have one of these. Please watch complete video. Let's start this. What if I told you that a coin sitting in your old change jar could be worth over $1.6 million? That's right, the 1976 D. Kennedy half dollar. A coin millions of people owned during America's bicentennial has a rare variety that can make you a millionaire today. Stay with me, because in this video, I'll show you how to identify this special coin, what makes it valuable, and how you can sell one if you find it. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, right after President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination. It became a national symbol, not just money, but a way for Americans to honor JFK. By 1976, the U.S. Mint released a special bicentennial edition of the half dollar to celebrate America's 200th birthday. These coins featured two dates, 1776 to 1976, and a new reverse design showing Independence Hall in Philadelphia. Millions were struck, especially at the Denver Mint. That's where the D-Mint mark comes in. Now, here's the thing. Most of these 1976 D. Kennedy halves are worth just 50 cents to a few dollars today, even in nice condition. But a tiny number of them were struck with rare minting errors. One of these error coins, a 1976 D. Kennedy half dollar, sold at auction for $1.6 million. Why? Because it was struck in a special silver composition, with razor-sharp details, and in pristine condition. Collectors go wild for coins like this because they are one-of-a-kind mistakes that slipped through the mint's quality checks. Look for the small D under Kennedy's neck. That shows it was made at the Denver Mint. Normal circulation coins are copper-nickel, but the rare million-dollar versions are struck on a 40% silver planchet by mistake. These coins look shinier, heavier, and the edge may show more silver instead of the usual copper stripe. If the coin is in nearly perfect condition, no scratches, no wear, the value skyrockets. Collectors call this mint state. Some coins may also show doubling in the lettering or dates, or misstrikes. These can add thousands of dollars in value. Regular 1976 D halves, about 50 cents to $5. That silver bicentennial halves in good condition. $10, $50. Rare error coins, especially silver planchet or double die versions, hundreds to thousands. And the Holy Grail, the ultra-rare 1976 D. Kennedy half dollar error that sold for $1.6 million at auction. Now, if you think you have one of these coins, don't just run to your local pawn shop. Here's what you should do. Don't clean or polish it. That can destroy its value. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and give it a grade. The highest prices usually come from big auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. Reach out to coin dealers who specialize in Kennedy halves. They can help guide you. So, next time you come across an old Kennedy half dollar, take a closer look. Could be the ordinary 50-cent piece, or it could be your ticket to becoming a millionaire. Do you have any old Kennedy halves at home? Drop a comment below and let me know what year you've got. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting secrets, and who knows, maybe your pocket change is hiding a fortune. Did you know that one single Kennedy half dollar from 1983, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, could be worth as much as $1.7 million? Yes, you heard that right. A coin that might be sitting in an old jar, a drawer, or even in your pocket change could be worth a fortune. Today, I'm going to walk you through the story of the 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar, what makes it so valuable, how to spot one, and what you can do if you think you might have one of these rare treasures. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was a way for the nation to honor him, and it quickly became one of the most collected modern U.S. coins. Now, by the 1980s, these coins were mostly used for casinos and collectors. They didn't really circulate heavily anymore. But in 1983, at the Philadelphia Mint, something unusual happened. A very small number of half dollars came out with unique characteristics that would later make them among the most valuable modern coins ever. So, what makes the 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar so important? No mint sets in 1983. The U.S. Mint did not produce official mint sets that year. That means collectors had very limited access to high-quality, uncirculated examples. Low survival rate. Most of the coins went into circulation and picked up scratches and wear. Finding one in gem uncirculated condition is extremely rare. Unique errors and varieties. Some of these coins were struck with doubling errors or other minting anomalies, and when you combine that with high condition grades, the value skyrockets. In fact, one spectacular 1983 P. Kennedy half-dollar graded MS 68 by PCGS sold for an unbelievable $1.7 million at auction, setting a modern coin record. The portrait of John F. Kennedy with the year 1983 at the bottom. The presidential seal with an eagle holding arrows and an olive branch. Just above the date, you'll see the small letter P for Philadelphia. Now, condition is everything. If your coin is scratched, worn, or dull, it won't be worth millions. But if it looks crisp, with sharp details and mirror-like surfaces, you could be holding something very special. So what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1983 P. Kennedy half-dollar? Do not clean it. Cleaning ruins collectible value. Get it graded. Send it to a trusted service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Auction houses. If it's high grade, consider auctioning through Heritage Auctions, Stacksbowers, or another reputable firm. Even if yours isn't worth $1.7 million, a nice condition 1983 P can still bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, check your coin jars, your drawers, even that old collection from your parents or grandparents. The 1983 P. Kennedy half-dollar is proof that sometimes treasure is hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more guides on valuable coins, and drop a comment if you've ever found something surprising in your change. Welcome back, everyone. If you've got a jar of old coins sitting at home, this video could be worth more than gold. Today, we're talking about the 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that has shocked collectors because one example reportedly sold for over $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin many people overlook could change your life. So grab a cup of coffee, because for the next few minutes we'll dive into why this coin is special, how to identify valuable ones, and what you should do if you think you might have one. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination. The coin became an instant symbol of national pride and remembrance. BY 1971, the U.S. Mint in Denver, that's the D Mint mark, had switched from silver to a copper-nickel composition. That means most 1971 half-dollars are only worth face value, 50 cents. So why in the world would one be worth over $1 million? Let's find out. The record-breaking 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar wasn't just any coin. It was a rare mint error. Experts believe it was mistakenly struck on a 40% silver planchet left over from 1970 production. Because of this error, the coin stood out. It had a slightly different weight, sound, and luster compared to normal copper-nickel half-dollars. When it was authenticated and graded in top condition, collectors went wild. That's what drove its value up to the $1.6 million mark at auction. While most 1971 D halves are common, error coins or high-grade examples can be worth a small fortune. Look for a small D just below Kennedy's neck. That tells you it was minted in Denver. Normal coins weigh about 11.34 grams. If yours weighs closer to 11.5 to 11.7 grams, it could be struck on a leftover silver planchet. Regular coins show a copper-colored line on the edge. If your coin looks more silver all the way through, pay attention. Coins graded MS 65 or higher, basically mint condition, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, even without errors. If you're unsure, always have your coin checked by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even if you don't have the $1 million coin, don't lose hope. Other Kennedy half-dollars can still bring in great money. 1964 silver halves are always worth more than face value. Since they're 90% silver. 1965-1970 halves contain 40% silver and can sell for a few dollars each. High-grade proof coins and special mint errors are in demand with collectors. So, check your old change. You might be sitting on a small treasure chest. Now, if you do find something valuable, here are a few tips before you rush to sell. Cleaning can destroy its value. Certification from a trusted grading company adds credibility and maximizes your profit. Sites like Heritage Auctions, PCGS price guides, or eBay completed listings will give you an idea of what buyers are paying. Consider auctions. Rare coins usually fetch the best prices when collectors compete against each other. Remember, knowledge is power when selling coins. So, is every 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar worth $1.6 million?
Unfortunately, no.
But the story of that one rare coin proves why it pays to check your change and collections carefully. Coins like these remind us that history and value can be hiding right in our pockets. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more coin collecting tips. And tell me in the comments, what's the most interesting coin you've ever found? Did you know a single 1974 Kennedy half dollar, one you might have sitting in a jar, drawer, or old coin collection, could be worth as much as $1.5 million? Yes, you heard that right. A 50-cent piece that most people spent on groceries back in the 70s could now change someone's life. Today, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the 1974 no-mint mark Kennedy half dollar. Why it's so rare, how to spot it, and most importantly, how much it's really worth if you have one. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. It instantly became a beloved coin and millions were struck every year. By 1974, the U.S. Mint produced half dollars at multiple locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, coins have a little letter under Kennedy's neck, a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no mark at all for Philadelphia. But here's where it gets interesting. Some 1974 Kennedy halves with no mint mark were struck differently, creating an error coin that collectors today are willing to pay fortunes for. Most 1974 half dollars are only worth their face value, 50 cents. Even in mint condition, the typical ones might sell for a couple of bucks. But the 1974 no mint mark error is a whole different story. It's considered one of the holy grails of modern U.S. coins. Why? Because only a handful were struck, either by mistake or as test strikes, and almost none have survived in circulation. What does that mean for you? Well, if you happen to find one, collectors will line up to pay astronomical prices. In fact, one verified example sold for $1.5 million at auction. And serious collectors are still hunting for more. Now, let's talk about how to check your coins. Take a look at the front of the coin. That's the obverse with Kennedy's portrait. Normally, under his neck, you should see a tiny letter, D, S, or sometimes nothing for Philadelphia. Here's the catch. The valuable 1974 no-mint mark coin isn't just a regular Philadelphia strike. It usually shows very sharp details, a strong strike, and sometimes unusual die markers. If your coin looks off, or sharper than normal, or doesn't match what you see in guides, you may want to have it checked by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Remember, condition is everything. Coins in uncirculated or proof-like condition bring the highest value. A regular 1974 half dollar in worn condition is only worth about 50 cents in uncirculated condition, maybe $2 to $5. But a verified 1974 no-mint mark error coin can range from hundreds of thousands all the way up to that legendary $1.5 million sale. Depending on grade, rarity, and demand, that's why coin experts recommend having rare-looking coins authenticated. A small investment in grading can literally turn pocket change into a retirement fund. If you think you have one, don't just sell it at your local pawn shop. That's where people lose out. Instead, work with trusted auction houses or certified coin dealers who specialize in rare U.S. coins. Also, never clean your coin. Scratches and shine from cleaning actually reduce the value. Collectors want coins in their original, untouched condition. So, here's the takeaway. Always check your Kennedy half dollars from 1974. Most are worth just face value, but a tiny number could be worth a life-changing amount, up to $1.5 million if you've got a box of old coins. Now is the perfect time to go through them carefully. You never know, your lucky find could be sitting right there. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and share this with a friend who might have old coins lying around. Who knows? They might thank you for helping them discover a hidden treasure. Did you know a coin sitting in your change jar could be worth over $1.6 million? Today we're talking about the legendary 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered. If you've got old coins lying around, this might just be your golden ticket. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. From 1964 to 1970, these coins contained silver. But in 1971, the U.S. Mint stopped using silver and switched to a copper-nickel composition. That's when things got interesting. A small number of these 1971 half-dollars were struck with unusual features, including a rare missing mint mark error. And those rare mistakes, they can be worth a fortune today. So why would anyone pay over $1 million for a 50-cent coin? It comes down to three things. Only a handful of these error coins are known to exist. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition can skyrocket in value. Kennedy half-dollars are extremely popular, with collectors. One pristine example of a 1971 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar has sold for nearly $1.6 million at auction. And that's why this humble-looking coin is a true treasure. Alright, so how do you know if you have one? Flip your coin to the obverse side. That's the side with Kennedy's face. Look just below Kennedy's neck, near the date. That's where the mint mark should be. Usually a small D for Denver or S for San Francisco. If there's no mint mark at all, you might be holding something very valuable. But remember, most 1971 half-dollars were made in Philadelphia and didn't carry a mint mark. What sets the million-dollar versions apart are specific die errors, high-grade strikes, and authentication from professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Don't assume every no-mint coin is a jackpot, but it's worth checking carefully. If you think you've got a rare Kennedy half-dollar, here's what to do. Don't clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy its value. Get it authenticated. Submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if it's the real deal. Choose how to sell. Rare coins can be sold at major coin auctions, Heritage, Stack's Bowers, etc. Reputable coin dealers, online collector marketplaces, if your coin is the rare million-dollar version. Serious collectors and investors will compete to buy it. Now a quick warning. Don't fall for online hype claiming every 1971 half-dollar is worth millions. Most are worth just 50 cents to a few dollars. The jackpot coins are the extremely rare, error-struck versions in pristine condition. So there you have it, the 1971 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar. A tiny piece of change that could be worth over $1.6 million. Check your change jars, your old coin albums, or that shoebox in the attic. You never know what treasures you might find. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next coin treasure hunt. Did you know that a simple 50-cent piece, the Kennedy half-dollar, could be hiding in your change jar and be worth up to $1.4 million today? Yes, you heard that right. A 1972 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark has shocked the coin world with its value. If you've got old coins lying around in a drawer or box, this might be the one that changes your life. Presenter on camera with coin graphics. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we uncover the secrets of rare coins and how much money they can really bring in. If you're between 30 and 70 and you've collected coins, inherited them, or just want to sell for top dollar, then this video is for you. Today we'll talk about the 1972 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar, why it's so rare, and how you can find out if you're sitting on a small fortune. Archival photos of John F. Kennedy, minting process, coinage in 1970s. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, shortly after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. It was intended as a tribute and quickly became a collector's favorite. In 1972, half-dollars were made primarily at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with some proofs at San Francisco. Normally, coins struck in Philadelphia carried no mint mark. But here's the twist. The 1972 no mint mark half-dollar that's so valuable isn't just any Philadelphia coin. It's a rare error variety. Zoom in on error coin details, overlays comparing regular versus rare coin. So why the shocking price tag? The answer is in the double die error and the absence of the mint mark. The valuable 1972 No mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar shows doubling on "In God We Trust," Liberty, and the date, 1972. This type of minting error was incredibly rare, and only a handful of these coins are believed to exist today. In 2020, one of these coins graded in superb condition sold for over $1.4 million at auction. That means your ordinary-looking half-dollar could secretly be a treasure. Look for 1972. If it's missing on the front side near Kennedy's neck, that's the first sign. Using a magnifying glass, look closely at the words Liberty and "In God We Trust." If the letters appear doubled, you may have the rare variety. Coins in pristine condition, especially those graded by PCGS or NGC, are worth dramatically more. Show chart with coin grades and prices. Not every 1972 Kennedy half-dollar will make you rich. Most are worth between $1 and $5 in circulated condition. Higher-grade coins can sell for $100 to $500. But the no-mint mark double die error is the jackpot, and that's where the million-dollar value comes in. Clips of auctions, eBay, coin shops. If you think you've got one of these, don't rush to sell it at a pawn shop. Instead, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Contact a reputable coin auction house. Avoid quick cash buyers who might lowball you. Presenter smiling, holding a half-dollar. So there you have it, the 1972 no-mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar, possibly worth up to $1.4 million. Check your change, check your collections, and you just might be sitting on a gold mine. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who loves coins. Who knows? You might just change their life too. Backhand index pointing right. Would you like me to also create a voice-over-ready narration with natural pacing cues, like pauses, emphasis, and tone guidance, so it's easier for you to record for a 10-minute runtime? Did you know a simple half-dollar from 1989, with a little P mint mark, could be worth as much as $1.7 million? That's right, what looks like spare change in your pocket could actually be a life-changing discovery. Today, I'll walk you through the story of the 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar, how to tell if you own one of these rare treasures, and what you should do before selling your coins. First minted in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. Popular among collectors because of the strong symbolism and changing designs, BY 1989, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia struck tens of millions of half-dollars, but not all were created equal. Most are worth face value, 50 cents, but rare error coins or unusual varieties can fetch thousands, and one in pristine, unique condition reportedly reached that $1.7 million valuation. Mint mark P stands for Philadelphia Mint. Look just above the date on the front, obverse of the coin. Over 24 million were produced that year, so the majority are common. High-grade examples, MS67 or higher. Proof-like strikes with mirror finishes. Double dies, off-center strikes, missing details, etc. The coin that sold for a reported $1.7 million wasn't just any half-dollar. It was a unique mint error in exceptional condition. Almost flawless condition, graded by a professional service. Rare error type that almost never leaves the mint. Auction bidding wars among elite collectors drove the price sky high. Not every 1989 P is worth a fortune, but under the right conditions, a rare example can bring unbelievable money. Must have the P. Look for scratches, wear, or shine. Double lettering, off-center images. Missing details. MS60 is decent, but MS67 Plus can be worth hundreds or thousands. PCGS or NGC certification adds massive value. Use a magnifying glass or simple coin loop. Lighting is key. Tilt the coin to catch details. Often worth more than $10 in silver alone. Collectible rarity. Can be worth hundreds. Sought after by collectors. Major auction houses, Heritage, Stax Bowers. Online marketplaces, eBay, but know the risks. Trusted local coin dealers. Avoid pawn shops or unverified buyers. They often underpay. Always get multiple offers before selling. So, do you have a 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar sitting in a drawer? Most are just 50 cents, but that one rare example reached an incredible $1.7 million. The only way to know is to check your coins carefully, because your pocket change could be priceless. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more videos on rare coins, hidden treasures, and ways to turn your collection into cash. And tell me in the comments, what's the most interesting coin you've ever found? 10 minutes when spoken at a natural pace, with pauses, visuals, and examples. 30 to 70-year-olds interested in coin values and selling. Informative, engaging, and clear. Would you like me to also add recommended on-screen visuals and B-roll ideas, like coin close-ups, auction footage, charts, to make the video more engaging for your viewers? Did you know that a simple half-dollar coin you might have in your change jar could be worth up to $1.5 million? Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1990p mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar. Why it's so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can find out if the coins sitting in your collection could be life-changing treasures. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination. Americans saw it not just as currency, but as a keepsake to honor a beloved president. That's why, unlike many coins, half-dollars were hoarded from the very beginning. Over the years, millions were minted, but not all half-dollars are equal. Some years, some mint marks, and some rare errors turned these coins into collectibles worth a fortune. The year 1990 is particularly fascinating. The Philadelphia Mint produced Kennedy half-dollars with a P mint mark, nothing unusual at first glance. But certain examples from this year are considered incredibly rare and valuable. Some estimates place the worth of the rarest varieties at over $1.5 million. What makes them so special comes down to condition, rarity, and minting errors. Coins graded at the highest possible level, known as MS-70, are almost perfect, flawless under magnification. Combine that perfection with a low survival rate, and suddenly you have a coin collectors are willing to pay millions for. First, flip your coin over. Look carefully at the date, 1990. Then check just above Kennedy's shoulder for the P mint mark, which stands for Philadelphia. Next, examine the coin's condition. Does it look circulated, scratched, or worn? If yes, it likely has only face value 50 cents. But if it's crisp, shiny, and nearly untouched, it could be worth much more. Collectors also look for striking errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual details in the lettering. These minting mistakes are like fingerprints, making each coin unique. Usually 50 cents to $5, $25, $50. Prices jump to hundreds, even thousands. And the ultra-rare, perfect MS-70 examples? That's where the million-plus valuations come in. Collectors are constantly searching for these high-end coins, and auction houses have seen bidding wars drive values sky-high. If you think you own a valuable 1990p Kennedy half-dollar, don't rush to sell it on eBay for a quick buck. Instead, take these steps. Get it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. Consult with coin dealers or auction houses that specialize in rare U.S. coins. Be